In recent years, there has been growing frustration among American farmers, particularly those who rely on John Deere tractors and machinery to sustain their operations. Farmers have long trusted John Deere, a symbol of American agricultural heritage, for their tractors, planters, harvesters, and other essential farm equipment. But lately, a storm of discontent has been brewing, and the very company that once held their loyalty is now facing their ire. The issue at hand is the right to repair, something many farmers argue is fundamental to their survival. John Deere's evolving business practices, its refusal to grant farmers the necessary access to repair their equipment, and the controversial software restrictions have caused an uproar. For decades, farmers could purchase a John Deere tractor or harvester and have the tools and know-how to maintain and repair their own equipment. However, that has drastically changed in recent years. Farmers claim that John Deere's restrictive policies and control over diagnostic software have led to significant financial burdens, forcing them to rely on overpriced dealership services and wait times that can stretch for days, weeks, or even longer. It is a problem that doesn't just affect their business, but the entire food supply chain. The right to repair crisis. Farmers today are facing more obstacles than ever before when it comes to fixing their own machinery. In some cases, John Deere has locked down the diagnostic software that makes their equipment function, making it impossible for farmers or third-party repair shops to perform simple repairs. Whether it's a broken sensor, a faulty GPS receiver, or a malfunctioning engine part, without access to the proper software, farmers cannot reset or recalibrate their machines. It's akin to buying a new car, but not being able to replace a burned-out light bulb without taking it to a dealership. Consider this. You own a John Deere tractor worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it suddenly breaks down due to a minor issue. Instead of being able to make repairs yourself or hire a third-party mechanic, you must take your tractor to an authorized John Deere dealership for repairs. But here's the catch. The dealership is the only one who can reset the computer after a repair's made. Farmers, many of whom are spread across rural areas, often find themselves in the painful position of waiting for days or weeks just to have their equipment serviced. This delay can result in significant financial losses. Time lost on the farm is essentially money lost. And in agriculture, that's a dangerous situation. It's not just the tractors and harvesters that are being restricted. John Deere has been accused of holding onto proprietary software for all its farm equipment. This means that even if a farmer were to replace a part, they would need to have access to that software to unlock the equipment and make it usable again. Without it, they may be unable to get their work done, leaving them stuck in a cycle of expensive repairs and delays. The lawsuit. In response to these frustrations, a group of farmers filed a lawsuit against John Deere, arguing for their right to repair their own equipment. The lawsuit seeks to break the monopoly that John Deere has on repair services by demanding that farmers be given access to the diagnostic tools and software necessary to make repairs themselves. Farmers argue that without this right, they are essentially being held hostage by John Deere, which forces them to pay exorbitant prices for services that could be easily handled on their own or by independent mechanics. The issue of repair rights has become so contentious that some farmers have even resorted to hacking their own equipment to bypass the software restrictions. Desperate to get their work done, farmers are turning to pirated software, often sourced from Eastern Europe, just to gain access to the critical tools they need to get their equipment back up and running. This, of course, is illegal, but it shows just how far farmers are willing to go to avoid being stuck with a machine they can't repair. John Deere has consistently defended its stance, arguing that the software and diagnostic tools are necessary to protect the intellectual property of the company and ensure that repairs are done safely and correctly. However, many farmers argue that this is just a ploy to force them into the company's repair ecosystem, cutting out independent repair shops and keeping profits firmly within John Deere's control. A long history of innovation and trust. John Deere's story goes back over 200 years to the early 19th century. The company's founder, John Deere, was a blacksmith who invented the first steel plow in 1837. This invention revolutionized farming and set the stage for the company's future success. Over the years, John Deere became synonymous with quality agricultural machinery. The company introduced countless innovations that made farming more efficient, including the first John Deere tractor in the 1920s, the hay baler in the 1950s, and the John Deere Gator in 1993, which became a staple for farmers needing a utility vehicle. John Deere's equipment became the backbone of American farming. The company earned a reputation for reliability and ingenuity. But somewhere along the way, things began to change. As John Deere grew, so did its power and influence over the industry. Farmers, who once had a partnership with the company, began to feel like they were being treated more as customers than as partners. What was once a mutually beneficial relationship turned into one where farmers began to feel exploited and taken for granted. What's at stake? In today's agriculture, where precision farming is increasingly important, technology plays a huge role in improving efficiency and yields. Tractors, combines, and planters are equipped with GPS systems, satellite receivers, and software that allow farmers to track their planting, fertilizing, and harvesting in real time. These innovations have revolutionized the way farms operate. But with all this advanced technology comes new challenges. Farmers are now dependent on the software and systems that control their equipment. If that software fails or needs an update, they cannot simply rely on a local mechanic to fix it. They must go through the proper channels to have the issue resolved, often at great cost and with significant delays. This monopolization of repair services has left farmers in a tough spot. They have no choice but to rely on John Deere's authorized dealerships, which, according to some, have made repairs more expensive and less accessible. The financial implications of these delays are enormous. In the highly competitive world of agriculture, a single day of downtime can mean the difference between a profitable year and a disastrous one. With harvest time being so limited, every day that a piece of equipment is out of service is a day when valuable crops could be lost. For instance, corn, soybeans, and wheat are three of the largest crops in the U.S., generating billions in revenue annually. If farmers are unable to repair their equipment promptly, it can lead to crop losses that reverberate throughout the entire food supply chain. The impact on John Deere's reputation. Despite all the controversies surrounding John Deere's repair policies, the company continues to dominate the agricultural machinery market. But as the company faces mounting pressure from farmers and legal challenges, it's clear that their long-term relationship with their customer base is at risk. Farmers are no longer willing to accept the status quo. They are banding together to demand change, and they are taking legal action to ensure their voices are heard. The outcome of the right to repair lawsuit could have far-reaching consequences for not just John Deere, but for the entire agricultural machinery industry. The future of farming and John Deere's role. As the battle between farmers and John Deere intensifies, the question remains, what will happen to the company's reputation in the long run? Will John Deere recognize the importance of its customers and work with them to find a solution? Or will it continue to prioritize profits over people? The future of farming is evolving, and with it, the role of technology in agriculture. Farmers need access to the tools and software that will allow them to continue doing their jobs effectively. Whether it's by negotiating better repair rights or creating partnerships with third-party repair shops, John Deere has an opportunity to rebuild its relationship with farmers and prove that it still stands by the values of quality, innovation, and partnership that made it a household name in the first place. In the end, John Deere may have to choose between maintaining its hold on the market or respecting the rights of the farmers who have kept its machines running for generations. It's a decision that will determine not only the future of the company, but also the future of American agriculture itself. John Deere has been an icon in American agriculture for over 180 years. However, the company is now facing significant backlash from its customers, the farmers who have relied on its machinery for generations. The fight over repair rights has revealed deeper issues within the company. and farmers are no longer willing to accept being treated as secondary customers. As the legal battles continue and tensions rise, one thing is clear: John Deere's legacy is on the line. The outcome of this fight will determine whether John Deere remains a trusted partner for farmers, or whether its actions will result in a fractured relationship with one of its most important customer groups. For now, farmers continue to battle for their right to repair, and their fight is far from over. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.